Hey church, welcome back to another Daily Hope Devo. Today we are in Isaiah chapter 31. In this chapter, the prophet Isaiah, he is addressing the southern kingdom of Judah. Judah, they're about to be invaded by the Assyrian Empire, and instead of Israel turning to the Lord for help and trusting in the Lord and placing their faith in him to be their rescue and their deliverer, surprise, surprise, they turn elsewhere. In this case, they're turning to the nation of Egypt to be their aid, to be their support, to be their rescue. Egypt had some perceived military power at the time. They had, horses and chariots. And so Isaiah, he's addressing Israel, the southern kingdom of Judah, and he's saying, hey, guys, you're at it again. And instead of turning to the Lord, you are looking elsewhere for help. And he says this in verse 1. He says, what sorrow awaits those who look to Egypt for help, trusting their horses, chariots, and charioteers, and depending on the strength of human armies, instead of looking to the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. I remember, this was a while ago, I was invited to be on this game show. It was called Let's Make a Deal. It was with Wayne Brady, and the way the show worked was they would randomly select a few of the audience members to come up and be participants in the show, and you could win cash, you could win prizes. And so I was, believe it or not, I was chosen by Wayne Brady to be one of the participants on this show. And so, he comes up to me, stands me up, I introduce myself, and he hands me 3 balloons. And each one of these balloons is a little folded piece of paper, and the paper had something written on it. And so he hands me the balloons and he says, hey, here's how it's going to work. Like, you get to pop the balloons, whatever's inside the balloon, whatever's written on that piece of paper is yours. You get to keep it. So I said, sweet. So he hands me a pen. I popped the first balloon, opened up the piece of paper, and it said $100. I was like, yes, I just want $100. This is awesome. And so I'm getting ready to pop the second balloon, but Wayne Brady stops me. He says, whoa, hold on. He goes, now, you have a choice. The show is called Let's Make a Deal. He says, you can, keep doing what you're doing, keep popping the balloons, keep keeping the prizes, or you could pick a potentially an even better prize and pick what's behind one of these curtains. And, they had advertised at the beginning of the show, like behind the curtains were like these dream getaways and like, a living room set, like a brand new car, like all these crazy prizes, like $100,000. I was like, okay, this is like too good to be true. But everybody is, making like crazy noise. They're cheering me on. They're telling me to pick what's behind one of these curtains. There's lights, there's music. It all happens so fast. But what's funny is I still remember this. There was a still small voice inside of me, beneath all the noise, saying, just pop that second balloon. Like, it's definitely the less exciting choice, but just pop the second balloon. But despite that still small voice inside of me, like, I just knew to pop that second balloon. I went with, I got caught up in the excitement. I let my emotions get the better of me. And instead I picked one of the curtains. So just so happens on the show, they have, booby traps behind a few of these curtains, throughout the show. And so these booby traps are called zonks. And so I go down to the stage, I pick a curtain comes back, dramatic music plays, and it's a zonk. I got zonked. And there was like 7 blenders, there was no lids, it was filled with like this mystery juice, and I had to flip a switch, and I literally got all this like disgusting, like who knows what was inside, nasty mystery juice all over me. I had to sit in it for like the rest of the show. It was a great experience. Thank you, Wayne Brady, if you're watching this. But the moral of the story was, I see a lot of the nation of Israel in that story, because it's like they could have listened to that voice, that still small voice. The Lord the whole time was saying, hey, I am right here. I've been your deliverer. I have been your protector. I have been your rescuer. Like, if you look throughout your history, Israel, I have never, ever, ever let you down. What makes you think I'm going to do it now? But instead, Israel, overwhelmed by emotion and panic and everything else, anxiety, decided to operate from that space instead of from a place of faith and trust in the Lord. And they chose Egypt. They chose someone who might have been the logical choice, but was not that still small voice inside of them saying, hey, I am right here. Choose me. You won't be wrong. What makes the story even worse, what adds insult to injury, is the couple that came up after me. They ended up popping that second balloon, and inside was a piece of paper on which said a brand new car. So I lost out on winning a brand new car. Instead, I sat in zonk juice for 30 minutes. Moral of the story, don't be like me. Don't be like the nation of Israel. Don't sit in the zonk juice. Trust in the Lord because he loves you, he cares for you, and he wants what's best for you. When the odds are stacked against us, when we're overwhelmed by emotion, when we're overwhelmed by anxiety, and we have the opportunity to place our trust in other places, avoid and run away from the temptation to do so, and instead choose to place your trust in the Lord because he cares for you. Love you, church. I'll see you soon. Bye.